Okay, so welcome everybody that's here to the presentation. Now we're going to pick up right where we kind of left off. We were building our own personal website, and we're using rickbillings.net, which is a site I'm building out. So in the beginning, the first video, we started off, getting a domain registered, get the hosting down, get WordPress installed. The second one, we kind of picked a theme. We picked the Divi theme, I believe we have on this, and we did some setups and stuff like that, and that's where we're going to kind of pick it up with the Divi theme. We're going to add some pages and get to a post today. What I want to show you to start off with is anytime you ever log into your back office at WordPress, okay, and you see these little red, like a number 1, okay, that means that they either updated the theme or a plugin or WordPress, for an example, okay, and that you need to let the system update it, and it's really easy. It's automatic every single time, okay? So I'm going to click on updates right here. It takes seconds, okay? So I'll click on updates, and it says there's a plugin and updates. Here's why it's got one in each area. But I'll click on the updates, and it says Akismet needs to be updated. So I'm just going to check this box at the top, select all. And if I had 5 or 6 or 7 or 8, it doesn't matter if I had 10 that need to be updated. I'd just check the box, and I'd say update the plugins, okay? So I would hit update, and it takes, you can see how long it takes here, not very long. And it goes through, and it connects to the WordPress depository. It brings back the latest update, and it's done. It says return to plugin page, okay? Now that plugin is updated. The update thing went away, and it's updated. Okay, now I want to show you something right here to start with. This is a plugin, and you read over here what the plugin does, okay? And this one right here, it eliminates spam, okay? Now you can, if we look over here, there's a comment. You say a comment. Somebody commented on our blog already. How can they comment on our blog? Because it's spam. That means that somebody went out there and said, hello, Rick Billings Marketing, because that's the name of the blog, right? And they're trying to say we can get you hits and visitors. That is spam, okay? That is something you don't want, okay? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click over here. I'm going to select them all, and I'm going to say delete, move them to, I'm going to mark them spam, let's say, okay, and hit apply. Then I'm going to show you how we can get rid of those. And then we go to the spam box. There's always a double process when you're eliminating things, okay? So we moved it to the spam box, and we select them all, and we permanently delete them. Delete them permanently and hit apply. So now it completely deleted those out of our database that is within, it holds all the information about our website, okay? So it's going to take a second. Anytime you ever question, this little icon runs in a circle up here next to your tab up here. That means the computer's processing, okay? So they're gone, okay? Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to come back over to plugins, and I'm going to activate this plugin, okay? So I'm going to activate the plugin, and I'm going to jump over here because I use this all the time. I've already have I've already set up on this website to be able to use this. So let me just go over to my computer folder here and go to plugins, and I have a list right here, right there, okay? And it's going to bring up this plugin, and here's this code that I need, okay? Once you register in a site one time, you can use it for all your sites. So I copy that code, and I come over here and I hit activate Akismet, okay, or settings, either way. I plug that key right in there and hit use this key, okay? And so now this particular plugin is activated, okay, and it's on. It didn't cost anything to use it. It's free, okay? And so the plugin is on, and it says it's active, and so it's going to catch those spam things. When people try to spam us, sometimes they get by, but in most cases it will catch the spam and just delete it automatically, okay? So you don't have to worry about it. So let's go back over to Appearance and go to Themes, and we're using a Divi theme. It's the first one marked here, right? It's a Divi theme, okay? And obviously it's up to date, because if it wasn't, it would say you need to update it, obviously. And below this, there's a Customize button, and this is kind of where we left off before, okay? It kind of shows the theme over here, okay? And I think in the section we were at, we were in the, let's see, theme settings. Yeah, we were putting a phone number in and the email address in. We can choose if we want it dark or light up here at the top, okay? We can decide, do we want these little social media buttons? We said yes. If we didn't want them in the header, it says on the left-hand side. Uncheck it. It takes them away from the header. You can put them in the footer if you want to. Now they're in the bottom Footer, they would be social media buttons in the footer. They would show up in the bottom footer normally, okay? But let's just leave them at the top there, okay? You come over here, the fonts, I leave this to default right now. The font looks fine to me. You want a dark theme or a light scheme throughout your thing. You want a background image, you can actually set a background image in here, okay? Widgets are these things over here. So as we look at the website here, okay, we have pages across the top, okay? We have blog posts that run down the middle if we want on our news feed, like this is Hello World, this is a post, okay? The next post will shove this down further, and you just keep putting it up. And these over here are called widgets. Widgets, okay? Now, keep in mind, widgets can be all kinds of things. So let me just go to rickbillings.com, and you'll see my widgets over here. And you'll notice them after a while when you go to visit a website. These are my widgets over here. I got a video one there. I got a Facebook widget. I got one that links to a site, a prospecting site. I got a report. I got a weight loss one, social media, some links and stuff like that, okay? So as you see widgets, you can add them there. Here, it always defaults to recent posts, recent comments, archives, categories, and meta tags. We're actually going to turn all those off. So anyway, we're done with the way this is going to look to start with here, okay? And so we just hit save, and then we close that, okay? Now I'm going to come over here and I'm going to hover over in the upper left-hand corner and say visit site. Before I do that, I'm going to hit my command key so it opens up another tab. So I can just kind of tab back and forth. Here's the back end, here's the site. So when I refresh and do things, I can see what's happening. Okay? So the first thing I want to do is I want to come over here to pages. Okay? And I want to get rid of this sample page. Now if we look over here, there's a sample and uncategorized page right here. We're going to get rid of the sample page here. We're going to move it to the trash. Because it's the one that WordPress always gives you, and then select all these and hit permanent delete, okay? So if I come over here and I hit refresh over here, that sample page is gone. See, it just disappeared right there, okay? And so I'm going to come over here and add some pages, okay? The first page I'm going to add over here is I hit add at the top. I'm going to hit about us, okay? And I'll use the proper capitalization, okay? And I'm going to say on the right-hand side, I'm going to hit mute on a couple of you just to make sure we don't have no background music, audio, and you can unmute, okay? So on the right-hand side over here, you'll see, and you'll over time learn this, okay? So we have the title of the page up here, okay? We're going to use the page builder, which is, I'm going to click on this. This is what the Divi theme does, okay? And then over here we have a publish. We can save it as a draft. If it's a blog, we can do a future post. I think I mentioned that in the past, where we can post it, 3 days later, a week later, a month later, whatever time. We can post on a certain day, okay? And then over here we have the theme. We just leave it to default, and we have the order. So let the about page be number 1, just to keep them in order, okay? And I'm going to hit publish. Okay, and we're going to come back to the page builder concept in a minute, okay? And then I'm going to take and come over here, and I'm going to go up here and add a new page, okay? And I want this page to be contact me. I'll just put contact Rick, okay? I'll make it a little more personal, okay? And then I'm going to say, let's make that, I'm going to have some pages in between. Let's just make it 7, just because it just keeps it in order, and you'll see that in just a second here, okay? Now, one thing that you'll learn is you can just keep adjusting and adjusting and changing and changing and changing in WordPress, and it just keeps getting better. You don't mess nothing up. All this information that we are doing gets put into a database, a WordPress database. So what WordPress does, the WordPress.org program, just looks at the database and says, this is what everything looks like. Your theme, your blog, your content, your settings, everything, your emails, all your stuff you have in there. It just looks in a database, okay? So you can change this around, and it just changes the database. And I've done it a million times, okay? So I look here, immediately say, there's a permalink. Now what a permalink is it says rickbillings.net / and here it says !page ID equals 42. Well, for search engine optimization, SEO, we don't want that. We want it to say contact Rick. Rickbillings.net .net/contact Rick. Well, we have to go in here and change this in our settings. And we go to settings and we go down to permalinks. Okay? Now, the best setting for permalinks is going to be this post name right here. Click in this post name and it shows you post name. And I hit save. Okay? So now watch what happens. The post name, when I go back to it and I hit contact Rick and edit, watch what happens here. Now it says rickbillings.net/contact Rick. The about us is about Rick. If you wrote a thing about omega Qs, the benefit of omega Qs, it would say rickbillings.net/the benefits of omega Q. So when the Google search engines are searching that, it sees those keywords, what that article will be about. Okay? And then with this particular theme, you have to hit Use Page Builder. And it comes up like that. I'll just save that. So we have an About page. So we come over here, we hit Refresh. Okay. We have a Home, which is going to be the news feed right here in the front. We have an About page, and we have a Contact page. Contact, there's nothing there. About, there's nothing there. Okay. Home is right here. So let me jump back to the Contact page. And right over here, you can see it set the sidebar off. Let's turn the side navigation. Oh, that's side navigation. Forget that. Okay, you'll see how we can adjust that in the middle. So if I come over here on the Contact page, now let me just go over here to the About page. It'd be better. Okay, go to the About page. Okay, and I'm going to come over here, and I'm going to. This right here, you have to imagine. This is like building blocks. Okay, that's the best way I can tell you. And you have an outer area, which is this whole area coming across here on the About page, okay? You have this whole area right here. Let me just draw it with this thing if you can see it here, okay? This whole area right here, okay? And it keeps expanding as you add more information. It'll just keep expanding down. But look what happens when you add a row, okay? You just keep adding a row. Now it says Insert Columns. Now watch, let me get rid of this one here. I went too fast. Let me insert columns. Now it's saying, you're going to build down with this, right? How do you want this to build straight across and down? You want to build 2 columns down? You want to build 3 columns down right here? You want to build 4 columns down? You want to build 2/3 on this side, 1/3 on that side? You want to build 1/3 on this side, 2/3? It's endless. Well, kind of endless, what you can do. Let's say the first thing wants to be a header. So I click that. Now I come over here and insert modules, and I want a text module there. I want to put something across the very top that says, and I'm going to put some things just to exaggerate just a little bit. I'm going to say, meet Rick Billings and his family. Okay? And then ... and I'm going to say, you can click on this button right here, and it says toggle the toolbar, and I want to highlight this. And I want to make this bigger, and to make it bigger, you would go with a heading 1, okay? We'll make this bigger. And I want to center it, and I want to change the color of it to a burgundy, okay? And so this shows the orientation, left, right. I just say center it. I guess we could have picked our centering up here, but I'd usually do it in this contact box. And then I'm going to name this right here. I'm going to call it, our about header. That just tells me what it is for this is admin, for my purposes. And hit OK. So it says About Header. It goes all the way across the top. I'm going to update, and I'm going to jump over here, and I'm going to see what we did. Go over here to the About page. I'm going to hit Refresh. So right across the top is Meet Rick Billings and his family. I want that a little bit bolder. So I'm going to come back over here. I'm going to come over in the far 3 lines on the left-hand side. It opens it back up to edit it. I'm going to highlight it. I'm going to bold it. And I want to italicize it. I'm going to hit Save. I'm going to hit Update. I'm going to come back to my site once that update's there. And it'll go a little bit faster when you're not screen sharing like I'm doing. I'm going to jump over here, and I'm going to hit Refresh. So now it's bold and italicized. Okay? So the next thing I'm going to do is I want to come below this, and I want to add a little copy on the left and a picture on the right. So I'm going to come over here. I'm going to say Insert. If I insert a module here, okay, that's only going to insert these different modules I have a choice to do. And there's a lot of cool stuff in here. I use mostly the text module. Then close this. I'm going to insert another row. And on this row, I want to have 2 columns. I want a column on the left and column on the right. Okay, I come over to that left column, and I'm just going to put some text in here. Okay, this is just for our purposes. I'm just going to just type some garble in here, couple lines. Okay, and then hi, Rick Billings here. I'm just making this stuff up real quick here. Get my capitalizations. Rick Billings. Like spell, get my upper lowercase right. And then let's say I want to bold this right here. I highlight it and I bold it, and I come over here and I put, Rick here. Just something that helps me remember what that is. Rick here, okay? And over here I want to put a picture, okay? And so I'm going to put a picture. You can do images. I like to do control everything. Images works okay, but I'm just going to hit text here because I can add media right here. So I click on Add Media, and it opens up my media library of all my media files I have, okay? Now I go to Media Library and I only have my logo here because I uploaded my logo in the beginning. So I'm going to come back to Upload Files. I'm going to hit Select Files. So I hit Select, and I'm just going to jump over here to, let's see, I'm going to come over here to my computer. Let's see where I have my photos here. Let me just see if I can grab a family picture here that I have. Family. Let's see if I got one that's sized down. And you really want to size a picture down if you can. Here, that's 900 wide, 700 wide. Let's just do this one here. Okay, it uploads it here, and it comes over here. Here it says, here's the picture. How do you want to align it? I'm going to align it center in that little half window over there. And then I'm going to say I want it to be, I can go full size or I can go a smaller size. Let me just leave it a medium size and show you what happens. And I hit insert. And there's that picture. And I'm going to put family photo. Okay. And hit save. And I'm going to hit update. And then I'm going to come over here and take a look at it right here and hit refresh. So here's that garble and here's the picture. Okay. Now, because I inserted a small picture, it's linked to the big picture. So when I click on it, it's going to open up to a bigger picture. Do you see that? So everybody can see that, okay? Let me show you what I do on my site right here under Rick Billings, okay, about Rick Billings. I added a little plug-in that says when they click on it bigger, open it into another window, which this is big as it can already. See, I got my header here. I got a third on this side and 2/3 on this side. So as you start to look at this, okay, and you hover over things with a picture, okay, I don't have these things. But the point is I'm going to come back over to this picture, and I'm going to edit it, and I'm going to say, let me make it full size. So I'm going to click on this picture, and I'm going to hit the Edit tool up here, and it brings up this Edit, and I'm going to say, let's make it the bigger size. Let me fill the frame up, okay? And then I'm going to hit Save, and I'm going to hit Update. And I'm going to come over here, and I'm going to hit Refresh. Now my picture's bigger. See that? Okay. I'm going to, you can go ahead and if you have questions as we go, please go ahead and ask them to me. If you have background noise, then keep yourself muted. But other than that, you can open up and I can answer questions as you go. But this is kind of, you got to be a little creative here on what you're going to do. So if you then look at my page here and say, gosh, look at this. He's got a headline here. He's got 1/3 copy over here that kind of is the length of the picture. And then he's got a picture that takes up 2/3. Okay. Then he's got another header here. And then I kind of put pictures alternating back and forth, which I'll show you in a minute. Then he put a headline all the way across. Then he put a picture all the way across, another headline across, and then copy all the way across. And then he did a third. He put a third, no, actually a fourth, and 2/4, half, right? And then he put a row at the bottom. So you can start to look at a page and say, okay, that's how he built that page, okay? And all that is when you add a row, okay, and add columns, you can say, do you want a fourth on the left and 3/4 on the right? Do you want to have a fourth, okay? Or a half and, a third? So you can kind of see the layouts that you can have here, okay? And if you add one you don't want, you just take it away. So now I can come over here. Go ahead.
Rick, this is Nancy. Can you hear me?
Yes,
I had a question about before when you were choosing the picture, you said, I'm looking for one that's smaller. And did you mean in terms of resolution and number of pixels, that
Yes,
size?
yeah,
I mean,
because
file size?
because the file, this right here, when we first started, remember working with about 1,000 pixels wide. Okay, 1,000 pixels wide. So if you had a picture 2,000 pixels, that's just way too big for the, it just takes longer for the internet to upload that picture. So ultimately,
And
if
then
you
it
were
has
a
to be
thousand, if you had 1,000 pixels wide and you knew the picture wanted to be half of that, you'd only need a picture 500 pixels wide.
Mm-hmm.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, so it's basically for performance.
Yeah, exactly. Will it work a bigger picture? Absolutely. But when your
Okay.
people hit that page, it just takes a little bit longer for the browser to upload that. Now, I will tell you that it's not as critical as it used to be because the internet's faster. Back when we started years ago, you had to optimize every picture or Google would not even put you in their rankings. Now, because we have just lightning speed on our connections and stuff like that, it's not as critical. But on the mobile device, it is. Because when that has to download on a mobile device, you're using up bandwidth.
Right.
So on a mobile device, it's critical, but a desktop, so if you can, and there's a program called like resizemyimage.com that you can resize my image. So let me just go there, resizemyimage.com. Okay. So let me see what comes up. Resize my image. Nope, it's resize. Let me just Google it because I know there's one out there. Resize my image. Okay. There's several. Resize your image. Resizeyourimage.com. Okay, here it is. Okay, this is one I use. Okay. I recommend it, people. I think. So here, all you do is you add an image. You upload an image right here. It tells you how to do it in these steps. You upload an image. You tell it what width and what height you want it. When you're done, you add your cropping wherever you want it, and you hit download it, and it saves it right back to your computer. So you can resize any image you want. Okay.
So you resize first and then you crop second.
You actually crop first. It'll tell you the steps. You crop it the way you want it, and then you say, okay, I want it so wide, 500 wide, and just let the pixels be whatever. So you click on the width here, and you say, I want this to be 500 wide. Okay, so now, well, that's the cropping there. It'll tell you in the instructions how to use this, okay? Real simple. So then, because the concept is in your mind's eye, you know that this picture, now if it was 3/4, you'd say it want to be 750 pixels wide. Don't get too hung up in it because it doesn't have to be perfect, okay? It just helps you because now if I come over here, watch this right here, and I say, let me make one that has smaller type on the left, 1/3, 1/4 here, and 2/4 here. So watch this right here. I can, when this turns to a plus sign, I can move this here and drag it right there. And I can move this here and drag it right here, and I can delete that one, and I can hit upload. This is what's so cool about this theme is it's like building blocks with Legos. Watch this right here. Now I got a skinny column over here and a bigger picture. And you say, well, geez, I need more information down here. Okay, so let me just add another module below it, another text module below it, and add a bunch more text below it. Okay, I should have just grabbed some filler text. Okay, so let me just add this below it right here. Okay, let me just call it second row, and let me make this a bold. Let me make it like a 2 and bold it. Okay, and let me make it a different color. Let me make it blue. You don't want to get 2 colors so you think it'll look like a Christmas tree, but okay, and refresh. And now I got second row and more copy next to it, right? And you got to keep in mind the computer and the software and this layout obviously compresses everything up. So you can have as many rows as you want deep, so long as you don't have more text there. And if you had more deep and you say, okay, I need to add a row of text underneath this. Okay, so you add a row of text underneath this, here's who's in the family, we had this picture taken whenever or whatever. Okay, and you got a row of text, hit update, and you can see I'm just kind of goofing around here, and it's just that easy. And there's some text underneath it. And then you come over here and say, okay, now I want a divider. I want to add me a little divider row here. So I insert a row all the way across, insert my module, and let's see if there's a divider in here. Okay, and divider, and let's make the divider a blue color, and let's show it, show divider, and let's make it 5 pixels high. You just got to play with this. And let's update, okay? And let's hit refresh, and now there's a divider line, okay? Because sometimes it's kind of nice to have a divider line between things, okay? So when we look over here on, I'll just show you where I use it here, on Explore RX sites, okay? This is all built with the Divi theme. So if you're saying, how creative can you be? Look, there's a divider line right there, okay? Look on the product page. Everything, this theme is all done with the Divi theme, okay? Look at, I think it looks cleaner as they're going down. You're separating what you want them to look at. I'm guiding my viewer what they need to be looking at, okay? So then I want them to read this right here, 30% off. Then they Nutrify, a divider line, Slenderize, okay? So this is, look at this. Here's a headline, the color. This is a picture. If you don't know if it's a picture, grab it with your mouse and move it to the side. That's a picture. That whole, the text and everything's a picture. Can everybody see that okay? And you look over here, this is a picture. Let's say you want this picture to put on your site. Right-click, save it to your computer. Prime set, downloads, I'll put it there. It's on my computer. I just downloaded it. I'm going to go here. I'm going to say I want the prime to be underneath here. I'm going to add a row. I want to set 2 columns. On the first column, I want to add prime. Okay? I put my cursor here, add media. Okay, upload a file, select. It was in my download file, downloads I put right here. And let's see, there's a lot of stuff. Here it is right here. Prime, here it comes. Let it upload. I'm gonna pick the biggest image right here, let it center. I hit upload, there it is. I hit save. I should have named it because otherwise it defaults to text. Let me rename it, just call it Prime for my purposes. P-R-I-M. It just helps you when you're building, edit. As you look at your page, you can kind of see it. Now, there's obviously no rhyme or reason how I'm doing this. I'm just showing you the technique, and I hit refresh, and here's Prime right there. Okay? You say, well, Rick, I want that on the right-hand side. Just grab it and move it over here. And switch places. I'm going to grab some of this copy right here. This is a logo. There's really not no copy there. It's a logo, and then some text is all I did. Copy this text, Control-C, come over here, hit a text module, Control-V to paste it, highlight it, center it, okay? Maybe I'll bold essential oils, make it different, my opinion, okay? And just put prime text, okay? Hit okay, update. Come back over here, hit refresh. The bottle's on the right, this is on the left.
I am.
Okay, is everybody?
I'm going to sweep before I go.
Okay, I'm going to mute a couple of you here. I'll get some background noise. If you want to unmute yourself, you can, okay? Or you can type in your questions in the chat box, okay? So this is just, it's really, now you got to keep in mind, I'm just kind of showing you different things because I just think it's important for you to learn the concept of how easy this is really. Because, see, the content becomes the toughest part. Okay, I can build a website. I can make it look like this. What am I going to put on it? Okay, and you don't have to have it all on there on day one. I have changed my website hundreds, literally hundreds of times because I have several, okay? And that is okay because you get an idea, change it. I added 2 videos to 2 different websites this morning because I seen them. They were great. They were Dr. Strand's Medical Minutes, and I wanted them there, okay? So this right here is, we're just on one page right here, an about page, okay? And I just want to show you that this becomes like you're looking at this and these are boxes. These are boxes and you have to just play around with it, okay? You got to say, God, what happens if I come over here and add a full length box? Oh, it added a whole thing right here. And what if I hit edit over here? Now select color, what does that do? Let's select gold. Okay, and I'm not going to do anything else. I'm just going to hit OK, and I'm going to hit refresh. Okay, and to be honest with you, this is how I learned this theme, is I just played with it. And I hit refresh, and I come down here, and, well, what happens, it's supposed to add a gold bar across here. I didn't have something checked right, I don't think. Well, let me just go back to it. Maybe I didn't have a module set. Background image, a video, background width, height. Pixels, everything works in pixels. So let's say it's 20 pixels high. Let's leave it full. Let me see if that does anything. Shadow. Okay, let's just see what that does. Okay. And I haven't messed with this aspect of it, but I just want to show you that this is how you learn some of these things, okay? Yeah, you probably have to put some copy in it, okay? Probably have to come over here and put full-length header with sidebar. Yeah, here's what you got to add some stuff. I'm not going to mess around with this too much because I just don't. This is a test, okay? Let me just try this here, and then I'll abandon if it don't see nothing. Refresh. Okay, here comes a banner. So now you get this banner here. So you get a gold bar across here. You had to add something. There's a text. So you can add a slider. It looks like you can add pictures or whatever in there, and it's like a major separator. And I'm sure if you start to look at websites, you'll start to see these things on websites and stuff like that. How did they do that, okay? And I want to get rid of it. Look at this. X, boom, it's gone. Update, it's gone that faster than seconds, okay? So as you're, yes,
Another question.
Yep.
When you add things like you said you added 2 videos to your site today, does Google pick those up, or how does that get you more attention or recognition through Google search? And
okay, you got to keep in mind, Google, when a video is embedded in your website, Google, just like this picture, Google does not know what it is. So you have to tag these pictures, but they know copy next to it, okay, and then you tag it. So these pictures, these photos right here have tags on them, okay? And I didn't go through that. We'll go through that later. But when you go over to your library on the left-hand side over here, Media Library, okay?
Well, my question is really, I mean, does Google, like, you added the videos and you put tags on them, so Google, or
yes, then they will.
Google would know, but Google they weren't there yesterday. So does Google like refresh or update?
Yep, Google crawls your site depending on how much and I kind of talked about it in the first video, depending on how much you update it and how many blog posts that you make. If you make consistent blog posts, Google will continue to come back to your site and look, is there anything new? Okay, so that's why consistency is important. Okay, so by putting this alt tag here, Meet Rick Billings, okay, Google. Oops, I spell meet right. They will know that's what that is. You know. And you can be more explicit than that and you have a description next to it, okay? So the point is that you want to tag your pictures and your video, and we'll talk about that a little bit later in getting, SEO thing, getting your site optimized, okay? When we get into the blog post side. So the about side, let's say I got to go edit something else. All you do is you go to pages. Pages, again, are across the top normally, okay? And you come over here and I got about and contact. So all you do is hover over it and you hit edit, okay? You got trash review. So I'm going to edit, and it pops back up. There it is. So you can go in and out of it 50 times a day. You could leave it sitting there, you close it, come back to it. It's just always going to be there, okay? So now let's go to, I'm going to add a plugin, okay? And then I'm going to go to work on the about page, okay? The contact page. Okay, so I'm going to come to the contact page right here, and on the contact page, I want to have my contact information, my picture, and my form that they fill in. Okay, so I have insert columns, so I want 3 wide. Okay, and I'm just going to jump over and grab some copy off of here. Okay, make it faster. Let's just say I want to copy this exact same thing. Okay, I'm going to say contact Rick Billings. Okay. We'll duplicate this. I'm going to add another row, another column, one across. I'm going to drag this right here above the other one. I got to get a hand above this one. You just drag and drop, move them around. They're little blocks, right? Okay. Add a module. I want a header coming across here. I want to say contact Rick, and I want it to be justified to the left, and we'll just make it bold. Bold right there, just like that. And let's make it burgundy. Say my theme is burgundy on my headlines. Kind of keep it consistent. Okay.
Is there actually a header module?
Yep.
Or do you use text and make it into a header?
Yeah, you put it here. No, in this theme, there's not a header module. That's a good question. So when you go to modules here, there is not really a header module, I don't think. No, I just grab it from header 1. So there's really not a header module. Okay. So I put the contact there. I'm going to hit upload. Okay, I'm going to come over to the left-hand side and I go to the about page. Or contact page, excuse me, contact. And it says contact Rick Billings. Okay, we'll see as we go. Underneath it on this side, I'm going to add some text. I'm going to come over here. I'm going to copy this text right here. Some of the spacing got goofed up, but copy. And I'm going to come over here and I'm going to paste it. And I'm going to say, let's go header 3. And that's fine right there. Let's see what it looks like. And I'm just going to put copy. That's what it is. And hit OK. And here I want to add a picture. Okay. Add my picture. Add media. Upload a file. Select. Documents. Listed. Family photos, 2013 photos, and right here. Okay, so there's my photo. I'll leave it. I'm going to justify it to the right. Okay, and I'm going to leave it that size and hit insert. There's my photo. It might be too big, but we'll see. Rick's, but it's not. I mean, I wouldn't size it down in this case. I just because it's the bigger the photo, the more you need to size it down if it's going across the whole width of the screen. Rick's photo. Okay, but you could. Okay, let's see. Okay, there's my photo. And over here, I'm going to put an opt-in box. Well, I got some information below my photo, really, over here that I want to grab, which is this stuff right here. Okay, copy. And let's put a text module underneath my photo. Put it right here. And let's change this to a 3. Okay, and contact info. So I have my contact info, plus I have my a form they can fill out, okay? Because some people are a little more comfortable filling a form out. I hit refresh. So now I have information here, and I can space this out and bold it. And I got my picture and that. That's fine, okay? Over here wants to be a form. Now I have to install a plugin. Now I've updated, so I'm okay on this page. It's saved. I've got to go over here to the plugins, and I've got to add a plugin that takes care of making the form for me automatically. So I come over here, and I hit add plugins, and I have this saved on my computer, but you could actually search for them. Actually, let me just see what let me see what it's called, and I'll search for it. Actually, let me just go see what it's called. The form plugins, because I download and keep everything organized. This is called Fast. Let me see. It's called Fast Secure Contact Form. Okay, cancel. I'm just going to search for it. Okay, and browse. Okay, so when I come up here to plugins and I hit plugins, install a new plugin, I can search for it over here. So it's called Fast Secure Contact. I'll just leave it at that. Hit enter. Okay, and there's thousands of them out there. Okay, but the one I want is Fast Secure Contact Form, which is this one right here. Okay, I just know that this is the guy's name. There's a lot to choose from, and if you're not for sure, you got to just go and hit more details, and it pops up a little window to look at it. And I've tried all kinds of stuff. You just keep trying till you find one you like. You don't like it, you uninstall it. I'm going to hit install now, hit OK. You get a form, you don't like it, you uninstall it. I do it all the time to find the right social media or whatever. Okay, so I'm going to come over here and hit activate. Okay. And here it is. Here's the form. Now what happens in order to edit this form, it's under plugins, FS for Fast Secure Contact Form. So if I click on there, now that plugin has options. Now keep in mind, I've been doing this for a long time, but once you start to do this, it becomes easier. And then you start using the same thing all the time. I use this form all the time. So my first form is down here. It comes up and it pulls your admin address that you had when you started your blog, Rick at RB Rhino, which is the email I have. And I just take webmaster and I just say Rick, because it's just going to me anyway. Rick, okay, and I hit save, okay. And when I get an email, it says Rick Billings Marketing Contact, okay. And I could say Rick Billings. I come over here just so I keep my things square. I'll say rickbillings.net. Okay, and take the space out, rickbillings.net contact. I'll take out that part. I don't need that in there. So that way I know it came from my rickbillings.net website. And I just hit save contact. Okay, and have you seen these forms that have all these fields that you fill out? Well, the default fields here are name, email, subject, and message. Now I'll show you how we can change those and add a field later. Okay, well, it's real simple. Let me just add a field. Let me just say we need the phone number field. It's not in here, right? I just hit add a field. I say phone, okay? And I say, do I want to make it mandatory? Show details, make it required. I want their phone number if they fill this out. Okay, and there's other options. I just hit save. Okay. And now here's a phone number field. I want this field right underneath email. So I drag and drop right there. I let it go and I hit save. So now I got name, email, phone number, subject, and message. And when I go back to the basic view, there's something called short code. And as you read through this, you would see this, but there's a short code. All I need is this short code. It's a short code to put on my website for that form to come up. I hit Control-C to copy it. I come back over here to my pages, okay? And I go to my contact, and I come over here to this third over here, and I add a text, and I just plug in that short code right there. That's all I do. It brings it, and I call this form, okay? I hit save, okay? I hit update. And then I come back to my website, and I hit refresh, and now that form is there from just that short code. Name, email, phone number, subject, and message, and it has a caption in it to keep spam out. As soon as I fill this out and I hit submit, it sends it to my email address and says rickbillings.net contact. Somebody just contacted me. I want to edit this form. I come back over here to plugins right there. Here's the form right there. I edit it. I come over to the field tab and I say, okay, let me add in let's see. Are you looking for a business? I'm just putting stuff in, question mark. Oops, question mark. Okay. And then I don't want to require it. I want to hit save. And then I want to move this above maybe I'll leave it at the end. I'll leave it at the end. Okay. No, it moved there. Let me see. I'll just leave it at the end right here. Okay. Hit save. Watch when I come over here to contact form and I hit refresh. It says, are you looking for a business? And they just type yes, no, or whatever. I got forms. You can ask me anything you want. I got forms that say, well, are you been in network marketing before? How much money do you want to make? How many hours do you want to work a week? You could ask some psychological questions to see if they're a good match for you. I don't know that you put them on this site here, but you got to think out of the box and think creatively. So here's a contact form. And I would jazz this up a little bit and maybe space this out a little bit or whatever, So does anybody have any questions on just adding a plug in there and what that plugin did? It enhanced my website. Okay. Has everybody got that? No questions. Okay.
No, I thought it was great.
Music.
Okay, pretty straightforward.
Yeah,
And you can always review
so
this.
cool.
You can always review this. It's really cool because there's millions of plugins out there, literally millions. You could say, I want to plug in, I want to do a poll. And I'm just going to show you, install plugin. I want to have a plugin on, I want to take a poll on my people, on people that come to my website. I like to ask them questions. Okay. So I put polls. My mind just went blank. Polls. Okay. What's going to come up is a lot of varieties. Look at all these different polls. So I look and say, okay, this one's been downloaded 167 times. It's got a 5-star rating, only by one person though. This has been down 1,700,000 times. What's telling me is probably the best poll so far? This one here, look at 1.7 million, 167,000. I'm going to do more details here. I'm going to look at this. I'm going to read through this, okay? And I'm going to read through it, and they even might have a sample here, and I usually like to come over here to a screenshot and say, what do you got to fill out? These are all like the options of the poll, okay? So I like that. I just hit install, okay? Activate this poll by activating it, okay? Now it's right here under WP polls, so I can either look for it in my see where it shows up. It shows up as a tab by itself. I click on it, which I've never downloaded this poll before, and I can manage my polls. I can add a new poll. I can do poll options, which tells me colors and all kinds of stuff. I can manage my polls. There's nothing there yet, and I can add a poll. How do you add a poll? I add a question and answer. One, answer, two, and add. What color do you like? Okay. There's a poll question. Red, blue. Okay, answer. And again, I want to add an answer. Red, blue, green. Okay, and that come down here. Allow the poll more than one answer. No, there it is right there. Add the poll. And here's the short code. Look at this. Here's the short code right there. See that right there? Let's just go look, let's see what it looks like for the heck of it. Let me just throw it on a page. I'll throw it on the about page. Okay, keep in mind I can delete anything I want. Add a row, add a thing, just one column, add a text column, and then stick the poll there. Hit OK. And that's the poll. Hit save, and just go look at that page, which is on the about page right here. And here's the poll right down here. What color do you like? Red. Okay, no, I like blue, so it only lets me pick one or the other. Okay, and then vote. And here's the poll. 100% of people like red. No one likes blue or green. Do you take supplements? Yes or no? Would you like to live longer? Yes or no? Would you like to lose weight? Yes or no? Have you ever tried to lose weight? Which programs have you tried to lose weight with? Jenny Craig, Nutrisystem. It's endless. It's between your ears what you can do with a website. And my whole goal is to teach you these principles, because as you create your website, okay, you can have your main website and have all kinds of stuff on it. Now I'm just going to delete this because I don't, just so it's not there. Hit update, and look at that. Within 3 or 4 minutes, we downloaded a poll, we added a poll, didn't give any thought to what question was going to be, added on the page, looked at it, and then took it off. Okay, because if I look at this page again, I took it off, I hit refresh, it's gone. Okay, it's not there no more. And for somebody to get to my site to see that poll while I was doing that is not going to happen. So you don't want to leave it there overnight unless you're using it, or you put it on a kind of a test page and don't publish it. Okay. So let me just add another page. Let me add another page and call it. Let's call it NUTRI. Let's call it nutrition. Okay. Page builder, and I'll just put it in 5th place. Okay, and it'll be before the contact page. So there's a nutrition page. So now when I come over here and I hit refresh. Okay, I got a page up here that says home, okay, which is the blog post. We'll get to in a minute. About and contact and nutrition. And uncategorized. Rick, why do you have uncategorized? Rick, I don't want to have nutrition up there. I'd like to have some stuff on there. Okay, I'd like to know that it's at rick.net/nutrition, but I don't want anybody to see that. Okay, that's easy. That's a piece of cake. Let me go to appearance and menus. Okay? Appearance and menus. And let me make a new main menu that I can control 100% and not the theme. I'm going to overwrite the theme. I'm going to call it main menu. Okay? And I'm going to hit create. And I'm going to come over. Huh?
Rick, I have a question. I thought when you created the Contact Rick page, you gave it number 7, but it appears 3rd in the list.
Yeah, because I only have 3 pages. So as I add a 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, it'll appear.
Okay. Oh, okay.
And that's just for keeping me organized in my back office, because I know I'm going to put
what were the other 2 things after that?
I don't know. We have to make them up. Work with Rick Billings, videos, whatever I want to put there. So look at my page here. I got 1 home, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. This is only for me to keep them organized in my back office, because I'm going to override it right here. Watch this. I'm going to make me a new main menu, and I want the home, about, and contact. I don't want nutrition on there. So I hit add. It brings them all over there. Home, about, contact. If I want contact above there, I just move it above it. If I want about above it, if I want about first, I move it first. Well, I don't. I want home first. I want about. I want contact. I hit save. Okay. And then I come over here, manage locations, and I say my primary menu wants to be main menu. Watch this. This is the theme saying you can have a primary, a secondary, and a footer at the bottom. I come over here, I hit refresh, and now uncategory went away, and this is my main menu right here. Look at this. I have home right here, I have about, and I have contact. I still have a nutrition page. Look at this right here. I still have a nutrition page. Could I highlight this and send this to somebody in an email, and the only way they could see it is if I send a link in an email, because the search engines will see it, but really people are not going to see it when they get to my site? Absolutely. I have tons of hidden pages. I have all kinds of hidden pages. that I use for whatever. What if I just want to send a nutrition page and say, and talk about nutrition, talk about Dr. Strand, put some Dr. Strand videos on there. But I don't want people to see those on my regular site when they just come visiting my site. It's kind of hidden links. Let's say I want nutrition to be at the bottom in the footer or in a sub menu. Watch this right here. I'm going to create a new menu, and I'm going to call it. Save. Let me just create new menu right here. Okay, create new menu. Let me create a menu called health. Okay, and I hit OK. And on the health menu, I just have nutrition right now. I'll put other things later. I just come over here and I add nutrition here. I save that, and I say, okay, the location. Let's put it at the that one's there. Let's put it at the footer. I'm going to put it in both places because I want to see where it appears. I'm saying I don't know where that appears. I'm going to put the health in both places. Okay, and I'm going to hit save. And I'm just going to go look at my site and see what it looks like. Okay. Oh, I got a health up here in the same row up here. That's pretty cool. It's right above here, smaller, but then I got it in the footer down here. So now I'm on a home page. I got my nutrition one here, and I got my nutrition here. Now you could say I'm going to keep all my health videos going across the top here. Let's look at Rick's site. I have videos going across the top. These are motivational things. And the strangest secret, I click on that, and it goes to the strangest secret right here, a video. Okay, and video's not showing up there. And it go to the science of getting rich. Okay, I got some audios up here. Okay, this tells me I've got to check my plugins because my plugins not working there. Okay, and then if I go to the bottom, I don't think I've got a bottom footer. Let me just see. Do I have a bottom footer down here? Yep, I got a footer down here. It looks a little bit different on this thing right here, but I got it right down here. Okay? So again, how do you want things to look? Can I take that away within a split second? I come over here and hit select none, and they're gone. Let's just leave it in the footer. Let's leave it health in the footer menu for right now. Okay? And I come over here and I hit refresh. Okay? And it's gone up here and it's right down here. And it's kind of hidden down there because you really don't want to have people see it that much. Okay, so we're coming to, I guess I kind of get going and talk too much, but we're coming to a part that we're going to end because it's an hour now. And we're going to pick on next week up, we're going to pick up where the blogs go, and we're going to get rid of the sidebar and stuff like that and add some different things there. But at least today, you should have a good understanding of the pages and how you can add pages, kind of keep them in order, as Nancy brought up there. And, I have a lot of pages, and you could have hidden pages and so on. And then how you can add through the Divi theme, you can add there. So, I mean, you could start. Let me just show you what I'm going to do here, okay? I'm going to add a plugin that's under construction. So if somebody goes to my site, Google won't see it, and it's under construction. So I'm going to add a plugin here, okay? And I have it saved again versus searching it, and I'm going to hit add. And just because I've done this so many times, WordPress, plugins, and down here I've got one that says under construction right here, okay? And we hit install, and what that does is nobody can see my site except me, because when I'm logged in, activate it. So I activate it, and I got to go to settings here. It says it needs updated because it was saved on my computer, so I'm going to update it real quick. I'll always do that. Okay, it's updated. And I'm going to come over here to settings, under construction, and I'm going to turn it on. Okay, just like that. So now if somebody goes to rickbillings.net, they see I'll log out, and I'll show you what they see. I'm going to log out, okay, and I'm going to come over here and go to rickbillings.net, and they see, and you can actually fill it in and say when it's coming. It just says coming soon. So now you can play and do everything on your site, and nobody can see it except you when you log in. Now, I can come over here and give somebody access to see it, but, that's another thing. So the point is that you can kind of see, and so, a lot of times if I'm building a page, and right here, I'll show you. I don't know if you can see my camera at all. I don't see my camera. Let me see if I can see my camera here. Let's see. See Nancy. Let me just see if I see my camera. I don't know why I don't see my camera. Can you guys see my camera? But anyway, I taken. You're all muted. I'm sorry. I jot on a piece of paper. I sketch out how my page wants to be. Okay, and I'll look at this and say, "Oh, wait a minute. This needs to be justified to the left. I don't want it centered. I want it to the left because it just doesn't look good to me." Okay. And so you just can adjust it and stuff like that. So anyway, if you're following along with this and trying to build a blog, you can go ahead and put it under construction plugin, start messing with it and putting things on there. And then next week, we're going to talk about putting post on there and a few more things about widgets and stuff like that, and probably add a couple more pages maybe. Okay. Anybody have any questions before we end today? You can unmute yourself.
Yeah, I have. So it seems like you should have some general plan, like sketched out of what pages you're going to have and what kinds of things you're going to have on those pages, and
Absolutely.
a general idea of what design-wise it should look like. I think that, for me, that feels like the biggest, that and actually writing the content is, like the biggest holdup here is that.
But just keep in mind, here's what, Nancy, and that's a good point. You bring up a good point. Just keep in mind that this is like, here's the way my mind works, and I challenge you to do the same thing, is you got to have a starting point. You have to start. And you have to just know that my site will always get better because I can control it. I know I'm learning this. I know this. I can update it anytime I want. So you got to start somewhere, knowing that you always want to improve it. You always want to make it better, okay, and add a few things. So I would start somewhere, even if it's just a little bit, okay, you put on there. I get a lot of ideas from other people's websites, and nothing out there is original. I'll get an idea, I'll get a look, I'll get a color I like or something like that, and, and then I run with it. I write it down. I'll get it in Word, and I'll type it out, and I'll say, okay, I like that, and I add it, okay? So it's about really getting it started and knowing that you can continue to add, more pages and add posts and stuff like that. So yes, this is recorded, Jeannie. So I'll put this in the back, Global Success Leaders. It'll be number 3, lesson 3. Okay. Yes, you can get access to Global Success Leaders there. Yes. Okay. Any other questions at all? Yes, it is a lot to absorb.
Not a question, but a comment.
Okay.
I actually like this Zoom info interface. I like it better than Join Me.
Okay, good. I do too. I just upgraded to the pro version, so $10 a month. So.
Now, Join Me has an app that you can download. It does.
Yes, this does too.
It does too. So, is there a place?
Zoom.us. I think you just got to go to Zoom. It's Zoom.us is what I'm using. So.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Any other questions at all?
I meant, is there an app as a viewer?
Oh, you'll have to go to the App Store.
Yeah,
Zoom.us.
I have the app downloaded from Apple.
Okay, that's Jessica. Okay.
Yes.
So you just search Zoom.us.
I just it's called Zoom.
Oh, Zoom. Okay. Great.
And yeah, it's great.
Okay. And what I'm going to do in the future is I'm probably going to redirect a URL. So you just go to the URL and you'll be right here. I think I might use like Rick Billings Live. I use that for something else now, but maybe like Rick Billings Live. So all you got to do is go to Rick Billings Live and you'll be right on the meeting.
Okay.
But I'll send emails out still. Okay. Well, thanks everybody and good luck. And we'll talk to most of you during the week here. Okay.
Bye.
Okay. Bye-bye now.